What is up, cool cats of the interwebs? It is your favorite group back at it again with another episode of the pre-review crew. Now, as always, I am your host, Haley, and with me is my cast of characters, Brennan,
Hello.
and we have Mike.
So,
So, as always, we are going to kick it over to last month, which is considered March, and then fast forward over to April to see what the games are that we picked for that month and how well they might do. So, going in a blast of the past, we're going to kick it over to Pokemon. Is it Pocopia?
yeah.
Okay, yes. I'm so bad with fucking game names. It is a life simulation developed by Omega Force and published by Nintendo. It came out on the Switch too on March 5th. It has a 90 top critic average with 97% of critics recommending.
So I really didn't know what to expect with this game, just because they've never done, at least Pokemon's never done anything like this before. So I was kind of like, I kept my hopes a little down. Like I was like, okay, this might be a subpar game, just because, like I said, they've never done a Pokemon game like this before. But it's one of the highest rated Pokemon games ever now, and it's crazy showing that like you can apply Pokemon to so much different stuff and it'll still work.
Dude, I would play Pokemon Pinball.
They
Actually, I
already have
did play
that.
Pokemon Pinball. There was Pokemon Pinball Ruby and Sapphire. I think it was on the Game Boy
It was on
Advance.
the Game Boy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. But you're right though. Honestly, they could just slap in Pokemon anywhere and it would kind of sell. I'm surprised. The one thing that I keep seeing the most is I feel like the something that Animal Crossing back in the day was known for its like wacky kind of like dialogue with all of the villagers and stuff. And I think that over time it's gotten cleaner and safer as the series has become more like approachable or whatever. But I keep seeing people bring up dialogue text boxes from Pacopia, and they're all just like mildly hilarious without any of the bite. And it's just really funny that I'm like, I just keep seeing stuff like this. And I'm like, this is what early Animal Crossing kind of sounded like, and I just love that. I wish I could bring examples, but I don't have any. There's a lot of like weird, wacky, like one-liner text boxes that I think are just hilarious.
Yeah, I was watching people play this game and it's got a lot of charm. It's got a lot of charm.
I did watch Dan's gaming play a little bit of this, and I was like, you know what, this is really fucking cute. Like this is adorable. This makes me want to get a Switch too. I can't believe I said that.
That's the thing, though. I feel like this is the first like big-ish Switch 2 exclusive that's come out. Like there haven't been any heavy hitters, right? There hasn't been any Mario or Zelda.
Just Donkey Kong and Mario Kart.
Yeah, no, okay, sure. This is like the big one, I think. I
Yeah,
feel like,
I think this is the one that a lot of kids convinced their parents to get them a Switch 2 for.
oh yeah, totally. And I feel like Nintendo needed that, but like the Pokemon company, I don't know. Did they develop this game? I don't even know.
I think so.
No, it's Omega Force. Um, but they definitely the Switch 2 needed this badly. It very badly needed it. I still won't buy one, but I'm glad that this was enough to like push people over the edge, and or people that did have it. Hopefully, they felt vindicated with it.
Oh, when I buy Switch 2 in 2 years, this will be the first game I get.
Yeah, I'd be excited to try it. I don't know. Like I've watched a couple people play it, and like I don't know. I just Like it seems fine. I don't know why. Like I watch it and I'm like, I don't know why this wouldn't click for me. Because I feel like this, in for all intents and purposes, this should be right up my alley. And I'm just like, eh.
I think I just fear that it won't have enough. And I said this a bit last time with Animal Crossing. Like, when the latest one came out, I got bored after a while because I was like, oh, all I'm doing is going around collecting things. Like, there's no, like, real, like, story quest line. Um, and this does have that. So, like, I'm curious to see how much this has to do, if that makes sense.
From what I'm seeing, there's a lot you can do because there's a lot of Pokemon that you can unlock that do different things for you.
This is so cool.
Yeah, but I'm glad to see it's getting good reviews. Because hopefully this will mean Nintendo will and the Pokemon Company will start doing different things. Like I saw they are doing different things. So like we were talking about Pokemon Champions before we started recording. So I think like if Pokemon Champions does well because this did so well, we'll see a lot of different Pokemon stuff other than the main entries. Because yeah, Pokemon Pinball needs to come back. Like that was the game right there for a while for me was Pokemon Pinball.
This makes me want to get a derpy Ditto tattoo.
Do it. I'll pay for it.
I love this so much. It's just really cute, and I said this last time, but I'm surprised that it took them this long to come out with a Pokemon game like this.
That's what I'm reading reviews. That's what some of them are saying. Like this is an idea that you think would have been apparent to the Pokemon Company for a while now.
Oh yeah, like, and let's see, when did Stardew come out?
Oh man, that's been a while. I was
2016. So 10, literally over 10 years ago. It came out on February 26th. Like, I would have assumed that this would have been a little bit closer in release date to that after they saw how much that blew up. But 10 years after the fact, like, it kind of just blows my mind. Like, I'm just surprised that Nintendo just was just like,
it,
no, we don't want that.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if they didn't do it because of Animal Crossing, because they didn't want to get in the way of Animal Crossing. But pandemic was what 6 years ago, so
Oh
Animal
yeah.
Crossing's been out for a while. So do the Pokemon version.
And that's the thing, like I think this Pokemon version is honestly so much better than Animal Crossing. Like
As a Pokemon nerd, I agree.
it just seems like there's so much more, and I feel like that's what you need after a while. Though I'm on the Animal Crossing subreddit and there are still people going hard on that game.
Animal Crossing is one of those games that just never dies. People are always doing some crazy stuff on there.
This is now the game that never dies. Though I will say, I wonder if they plan on doing any DLC for this game. Um, or like, I know like Hello Kitty Island Adventure has like themed events for like holiday seasons and things like that. So I wonder if they might do something similar.
I'd be shocked if they didn't.
But also, like, I wonder what Pokemon they would add if they did DLC.
For Christmas, just do a Delibird.
Okay, funny that you mentioned Delibird. I watched a video the other day, and the person was like, "Is it Delibird or is it Delivered?" You know, like delivered.
Think of the anime, they call it Delibird.
That okay? So like that sounds right, right? But like delivered sounds like way too and like that's I've never thought of it like that. And that's crazy. I haven't thought about that. Thank you for bringing that up, Mike. That was a great point.
Tonight, Brendan's gonna deliberate whether it's Delibird or Delibird.
I think I would. I know it's deliberate, but like I think deliberate is just funny. You have to say it. You have to be very conscious though when you say it, because otherwise you're just gonna say delibird, like you know, or delibird.
No, I'm gonna bring this up in front of people now and specifically say Delibird.
Yeah, and they're gonna be like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And you're like, the Pokemon, the very clearly, Santa Claus esque
Yeah.
Pokemon,
But
the same color scheme,
that makes so much sense if his name was pronounced delivered.
right? I wish I could come up with that. I wish I could say that I came up with that. I did not. I saw a video on Instagram. It is not my question, but I kept thinking about that for a while. I forgot until Mike said Delbert.
Delibird makes me think of he should look like a sandwich.
He goes delivering
You should look like a sandwich.
beats.
I wish I was. Oh, he carries food all day long. Aww.
In his little pouch. In his little pouch, he delivers presents.
He's so cute. Oh, look at his little cards. Oh, on the Pokemon website, you can like look them up and see their all their different cards. Oh, he's so cute. And he's always in like a little winter theme. Oh, there's him on the beach.
Yeah, like Brendan said, he's based off Santa Claus.
I'm rioting though. Like, why is it not pronounced
Delivered.
delivered?
Someone who watches this is gonna argue with me. No, it is delivered.
As it should be. We're saying it now. It's delivered. Anyway, let's go to our disappointing game for the month, which of course I picked because I pick all the disappointing games around these parts. It's 1348 X Voto. It's an action adventure third party game developed by Said Leo and published by Dear Villagers. Came out on PC, PS5, March 12th. Currently sitting at a 50 top critic average with 11% of critics recommended.
No, it dropped. It's
Okay,
9%.
it's 9%. Shit. Um, okay, so I can give firsthand accounts to this because I bought the game. And I bought it on sale through CD Keys changed their name to Loaded, which I think is so fucking stupid. But anyway, um, it was like 16 bucks on there. So I was like, okay, yeah, I think originally full price, I think it's like $25. Um, so not a full 60. Thank Jesus.
Good.
Um,
Yeah.
so I got it for 16 bucks. Got it on sale. Um, my PC is not a bad PC in any means. At least in my opinion. I don't think my PC is a bad PC. It might be a little outdated. Um, my PC was struggling. And I don't know, truly at this point, I don't know if it was my PC. I don't know if it's just the fucking game, but it looked like shit.
Was the game just not optimized very well?
I think so. All the textures and like the movements of things look funny. Um it doesn't look very realistic. Like it looks realistic in a cartoony way. Like take for example Saros, which we're going to talk about later. And how that looks like that really looks like Rahul. Like you could almost reach out and touch him and be like, "Holy shit!" Like that's a 1-to-1 representation. This game just looked cartoony, and the controls aren't the combat and the controls, in my opinion, aren't very optimized. They don't flow very well. The combat's just really weird. Because you have like a light attack, you have a heavy attack, you have a shield, um, like a block, and then you have sort of like a dodge. And I couldn't get it down. I was playing on mouse and keyboard. I was like, okay, maybe I'm the problem. Moved over to controller and was just still having issues with it. And like, don't get me wrong, your girl, like I can pick up combat pretty easily. I just couldn't pick this up for some reason, and it was 4 buttons.
Yeah, this actually surprised me. I thought I was gonna do better. I was expecting, critic average to be like low 70s, but not this.
It just it like I don't like I truly don't like I couldn't understand it. Like I like yes, my stuff's old, don't get me wrong. Um my CPU is a Ryzen 7. Um and what is my video card? Oh, my video card is a 2060. So like I'm a couple years old, but like I don't have issues playing other games. I don't have any issues running like Diablo on high specs. I don't have like my little brother said Cyberpunk ran great on my computer. So like I just couldn't understand why this looked like shit, and it just looked like shit. Like I could not get it. And I didn't get very far. I want to say that I didn't even make it out of like the very first area, to be honest, because I was like I don't want to play this anymore. Like it looks bad. I can't get hang of the combat. Like the combat doesn't necessarily make sense. Um the story itself seemed interesting. So you play as I think she's a hedge knight, and her dad was like lord of the area, and he's died, and his her mom died long ago. So her dad's dead, and there is a plague or like famine that has come through and killed a lot of people. And so her land is very much not doing well, and there's not many people around, and they get raided. Like somebody takes advantage of the situation and starts to raid them. And so she goes around looking for her best friend who is going into like a nunnery so she doesn't have to get married off to anybody old and gross. Um, because the people who raided took her. So that's as far as I got. Um, it's good in theory. In theory, it's good. I thought it was going to look better. I think it doesn't look great. Um, it's a game that I feel like almost should have came out on like a PS3 rather than now, especially with how good graphics and things are. And I think they had a pretty decent budget for this game as well. Um, but yeah, yeah, somebody says here it's less of a final work and more like a proof of concept. Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah, one review says with better polish that this could have stood alongside Hellblade.
don't think I would go that far because Hellblade is when it comes to the I should say this, when it comes to the story of Hellblade, I put Hellblade in a completely different category, especially when it comes to the combat as well. Like that is way, way, way beyond this game. Now, with some more time and money, maybe it could have reached that level, but I don't think that even if it reached the Hellblade level, that it would be as good as Hellblade. Hellblade, I think, is just when it comes
Awesome.
to narrative games like that, Hellblade is just top tier. It's very good. It's visually good. It's narratively good. The acting in it is amazing. This is just not that. Brennan, do you have anything to say?
No, no thoughts.
Only vibes. I will be curious to see what this team comes up with in the future. I think that they have a lot to learn. Um, when it comes to this game, and I hope whatever they make next looks better and is more polished. So, yeah. And they did put out patches. They did put out like a day one patch. So, I'm curious to see if they plan on doing any others as well.
At least it was at $60.
Uh oh, actually, they already put out a second patch. Um, various bug fixes, improvements across levels, controls, achievements, and save data. Why didn't you do that in the first place? Anyway, um, I'm not gonna gripe on all that. Let's hop over to Monster Hunter 3 Stories. Oh, Monster Hunter Stories 3 Twisted Reflection. It's JRPG developed and published by Capcom. Came out on Switch, PC, PS5, Xbox Series S and X on March 13th with a open critic 85 top critic average and 90% of critics recommending.
I think this did about. Honestly, this did a little better than I thought it was going to do. I think that these. I think the prior two stories games, I believe, scored lower. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I have to believe that they probably scored lower. But I think that like scoring this high, like comparable to the other like mainline Monster Hunter games is kind of a success. I think that they finally like took the JRPG spin-off and like finally made the one that they wanted. Um, I played the demo. I don't know if I finished the demo or if I just played like a couple hours of it. I thought it was fun. I do think it was because I'm unfamiliar with how all of the systems work and stuff. I think I'd be more personally. I think I would rather pick it up like on sale or something as opposed to just buying it outright. But I do think it's really fun. And I think it was a bit more like thought provoking than typical mainline Monster Hunter games. And not that mainline Monster Hunter games aren't thought provoking. They are. And some of the weapon combos are kind of crazy to memorize, but you eventually fall into this like flow state of just like if you play longsword, you just know how the fuck longsword works, okay? Or like greatsword. You just bonk the guy, right? Easy. You charge it and you bonk, easy. With this, it doesn't matter what weapon you play with. if anything, you play with multiple weapons to hit multiple weaknesses. Um, it just felt like I was thinking more. Like I was sitting down and trying to think. Like, okay, it really did feel like a rock paper scissors sort of method, as opposed to something like as concrete as Pokemon, right? Pokemon, you go into it, you go into the electric gym knowing who you're going to fight, and you build your team around that, or have put certain moves on certain people that you know are going to get around that. With Monster Hunter, yeah, some of the monsters have like types and stuff, but there's like three different moves that they can use. There's like technical, power, and speed, and it's just this weird game of rock paper scissors. And it's actually quite interesting. Like again, I've never played any of the stories games, so it was a bit weird to get used to at first. Um, but I can see really getting into it, and if you like turn-based games and you like Monster Hunter, but you can't play the mainline games, I think that most people would find this to be extremely enjoyable.
Yeah, I've only played mainline Monster Hunter. I've never played stories. But I agree. This did do better than I thought it was going to, which is good. Monster Hunter is fun. So
Um, I've never played a Monster Hunter game, but I am happy for those that enjoy it.
you just disappointed me so much.
I'm sorry.
Taking you out of the will.
No.
She was in your will to begin with?
Hey, yo.
She was getting the expired hot dogs in the back of my fridge.
What the?
What am I getting?
Half of my comic book collection.
Where's the
Said
other half
half?
going?
Yeah, what the fuck?
It's being buried with me. You kidding me?
I. You know what? This isn't fair.
What do you think the caskets can be made out of?
This isn't fair. I'm telling mom.
Oh, mom, huh? You
She's
gonna
not
change
here.
anything?
Oh! I.
Anything? She's gonna be like, good. I was gonna get rid of those things anyways.
Bro. If I ask mom for it, she'll give it to me. Anyway, we are now going to kick it over to April. We have a pretty good, I would say we have a pretty good lineup going for April. We are starting to get into, I would say probably like the really good games for the year. So we are going to kick it over to Pragmata. It's a sci-fi action adventure. Is it a single player game? I couldn't. It looks like it, but I couldn't find that out anywhere.
I
Yeah.
believe so.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I thought. I just wasn't sure. It is published and developed by Capcom, coming out on Switch 2, PS, Switch 2, PC, PS5, Xbox Series S and X
There you
on the
go.
17th. Words are hard.
The English language is altogether just hard. Um. Yeah. This is. I don't know. It just looks weird in a good way to me. I mean, you're a dude with a little girl with like powers just riding on his back.
I think she's a robot. Yeah. Like, he is what seems like a human, and she's a robot companion?
Oh yeah, she's an android. Okay.
I have no idea what's going on in this game. It just seems wacky, and I like it.
It almost has the zaniness that you expect from Metal Gear Solid.
Honestly, I was thinking that. I was like, this seems like a Koji Pro game. And yeah.
It looks like it. I'm not gonna lie. Like it really does.
I don't know, it just looks kind of interesting. I know very little about it. I feel like we've just seen bits and pieces from teasers and trailers over the past however long. I feel like they announced this a while ago too. Um,
They did, because the reason I know about it is my brother is really looking forward to this game. He told me
yeah,
he told me a couple months ago that he was going to get it. So that's when I looked into it, and yeah, that's how I know about it.
I feel like this is just like a straightforward action adventure game. I feel like this is more of like what you're in line, maybe like a Drake's Uncharted, where it's just like adventure the whole time, and it's like a couple hours long. And it's essentially just like a video game movie. That's what this is screaming to me, at least.
I was thinking Bioshock, but you play as the. Oh wait, no, yeah, he plays the Big Daddy. And that's the little sister on your back.
Yeah, it's Bioshock 2, yeah.
Yeah,
Um, what other? I feel like there's been another like like sci-fi s game that has hacking in it because I'm sitting here looking at the combat and with Diana, um, when you're in combat, she can hack the robot systems. And he uses guns. And I'm just like, I feel like there's another game that's done something like that, but like I can't think of it off the top of my brain.
Um, I can't think of it either, to be honest.
I can't either. No, that's what I'm sitting here trying to think.
I'm gonna look it up.
But this has that good amount of like weird sci-fi and action that I like. So that's why this has kind of got my attention. So hopefully the gunplay is um polished and works nice, especially with the hacking. Knowing my brother, he's gonna bring it to my place and we're gonna play it. So hoping it's good. Hoping it's worth it.
I think it just looks really. I'm still trying to find this, by the way, but I think it looks really cool, and I really want this game to do well. Like I'm really looking forward to it, especially the story because the story seems super interesting too.
Yeah. And there's a cat.
Kitty? Well, that's my game of the year right there.
Really, why'd you choose this game for Game of the Year? Kitty.
Exactly. Next game we're going to talk about. Oh god. Mike's really putting me through the ringer today.
Like I said, I was like
Okay. We talked about this earlier. Is it Ys Memoire? Yeah.
okay.
Revelations in Salsetta. Salsita?
Salsada.
Okay.
You're right.
Woo! Look at me go. 10 out of 10. It's a action
I wouldn't
adventure
go that high.
action adventure third person game developed by Exceed or Marvelous. I found both. I wasn't sure which one was right. Um and published by Nintendo, coming out on the Switch and the Switch 2 on the 28th.
So for me, Ys is one of those franchises that more people should know about. Like if you play JRPGs, you know what Ys is. Like it's one of the biggest, franchises ever. But a lot of people who don't play it, which is a lot of people, um, they have no idea what the hell this series is. And so it's kind of why I picked this game. It's a remake of a game that came out 2011, 2012-ish, something like that. Um, and for me, it's a great way to get into the series.
Um Now, I said this earlier. Um, Looking on the website, there's quite a few of these. Do they all tie together? Are they all separate?
Uh, if I remember correctly, there is like a you can play. Um, I'm trying to remember. I think there is. I think they are tied together. I'm trying to remember the ones I've played. But it's not like Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy, or Zelda, you know. Well, it's kind of in the same way of Zelda, where it's like it's the same world every game, but like there are differences.
Watching this reminds me of like the Tales of games.
Yeah, yeah, that's what they remind me of.
Yeah, it's like this. I feel like that, and Ys probably came before Tales, right?
Yeah.
So if anything, Tales is like plays more like Ys. Interesting. I've never played any of these to be honest with you. I had a friend who played. Um, it was Ys. He was juggling Ys and like Trails of Cold Steel at the same time. Um,
Oh yeah.
yeah, which is a lot of watching him play those. Yeah, I've never played Ys, but like I am all in favor of like re-releasing slash remastering or whatever, bringing old games that you can't play legitimately on old consoles, bring them to modern consoles. I think is just almost always a good idea. So I'm a fan of this. Hopefully this does well.
Yeah. Because yeah, these same world and they do have connections, but like if anybody wanted to pick this game up, it's self-contained enough that they don't have to play the other ones.
Mm.
I Oh, that's 2023. Okay, never mind. Um I agree with Brennan. Um I think personally, depending on when the game came out, I have like a love and hate relationship with them either remaking or remastering a game. But it looks like a lot of these ones within the storyline came out in the very like early 2000s. So I'm definitely all for it, especially because you can do so much now when you were so limited back then, especially when it comes to like the graphics and the gameplay and things like that. So it's cool to see these games getting like remastered um and hitting like more people and more audiences.
Especially because Ys was bigger in like the 90s and the early 2000s. So a lot of younger people aren't gonna remember Ys very much.
Exactly, and like trying to find games from the 90s and early 2000s, like they might cost an arm and a leg, and then you have to try to find that system to play it on, and it's like that might cost a fucking arm and a leg too if you can actually get it somewhere. So them
Yeah.
bringing it back is just super fucking awesome. I feel like it doesn't hurt, like especially in this case, like if it was such a big title back then, it can only get bigger now, especially if they do it well.
Yeah, so I'm hoping this does well, just because it'd be nice to see Ys around more.
And lastly, so let me preface this by saying, right before we started recording, I switched my game. I was originally going to talk about Dosa Divas, which was like a food turn-based combat. It was really cute. It was really cute. It was very cute. And then I remembered this game coming out, and I went, "Oh shit, never mind. I need to talk about this." And we are going to talk about Saros. It's action adventure developed by House Marquee, published by Sony Interactive, coming out, of course, PS5 on April 30th. Now you're going, Haley. You didn't play. No, this is a loose sequel to shit. What's that game called? What?
Returnal.
Returnal. There we go. Thank you, Ghost in my headset. Um, this is like a very loose spiritual successor to Returnal, and it features Rahul Kohli, which is also one of the reasons why I'm very excited about it. Um, but it looks so fucking good. It looks so good. And if you watch the feature trailer, it has this like precision 3D audio, really neat haptic feedback, all that fancy bullshit. But it just looks so cool. Am I going to play this? No. No. I would die. You thought I died a lot in 1348? I'm gonna die a lot in this game. But the creatures look hella badass. Actually, maybe I'll play it. I don't know. I have to think. Near instant loading speeds? What the fuck?
Because the kids today don't like loading.
This
Yo.
looks really fun, honestly. Like I was a big fan of Return. It was a bit difficult, and I never finished it. I think I got maybe to like the halfway point. I'm assuming that was the halfway point, whatever the hell that was. The last thing that I did, I'm assuming that was the halfway point. Um, so like, part of me would definitely want to check this out at some point, maybe just not immediately. I feel like I'm so apprehensive lately, like with new games. I don't know what it is. It's more of just like I feel like I'm the older I get, the more of a quote patient gamer I get, where I'm just like, I'll just wait for a sale. Like this looks fun.
That's how I feel now.
Yeah, right. Like I don't know. This is like a story for another time, but I've been going on a binge of older older classics, and it's like I look at new games today and I'm just like I don't know, man. But part of me is like, is this just like a pretentious thing, or like, am I just getting older and new shit just all looks like it all looks the same? You know what I mean? Like it just finished Final Fantasy VI yesterday. Final Fantasy VI came out in 1997 on the Super Nintendo. Like, and that game like moved me to tears at some point. I played so many games in the past like 20 years. I've cried maybe like I don't know, less than a handful of times, and it's like I'm the names of games that I can say that like I teared up on are very small. Like Red Dead Redemption 2, Clair Obscur, and Death Stranding, the first Death Stranding. It's like those are like the most recent games that I've teared up at. Where it's like I don't know, completely off topic, completely derailing. This game looks great. There's just part of me that's just like, I don't know. I feel like I'll just play Returnal instead. That's just me. That's just me because I already own Returnal, right? So like, and I never finished it. Maybe if I finished it, it would be different. But this does look cool, and like, I don't know, I just like how it looks. I feel like they ramped everything up. House Marquis Returnal, the first one, looks amazing, and even just like the environments looks really cool. So I think that I think they pretty much just took Returnal and then added like this weird Doom flavor on top. Because this does remind me of like I don't know, I guess more of like the newer Dooms, or maybe like Doom Eternal or something, in terms of like how it plays. Not how it plays. It's like a 3D bullet hell. That's what Returnal kind of is. But in terms of like environments and like monster designs, and even like weapon designs, it just feels like Returnal plus Doom, which is pretty cool. I think that both games lend themselves to that kind of play style of like just running and gunning. You know what I mean? So I think it just kind of fits. Sorry for the whole tangent halfway through about how modern day games are kind of boring, Brandon. I still think this is cool, but I don't know. Even though I'm a fan of Returnal, it's like I don't know if I wouldn't be jumping out of my seat to get this. You know what I mean?
I
No,
oh,
go
go
ahead.
ahead, Mike.
I was just gonna say I never played Returnal, but I do enjoy a good game where I don't let go of the right trigger and I just shoot stuff. And that's what this game looks like. Is like you're gonna turn off your brain. You're just gonna start shooting things.
Yeah, I mean, like this is that, but it's also kind of like not. Returnal was really difficult. Returnal took a lot of like brain power, and that's coming from someone who doesn't really enjoy playing bullet hells that much. Like it very much was a bullet hell game, and I don't think I really understood that until you first start playing it. First, you're just like, oh, this is kind of like any other third person shooter game. No, 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 no. You're straight up playing a 3D bullet hell, and sometimes it gets nuts. Like I don't even. I guess there's like that. I don't even know. There's like a point in the game where you think it's like going to be over, and then I think the game just like restarts. And that's like the whole crux of the story, but whatever. It seems like it feels like you're in like World 2-1 after a certain point, after you put like 30 hours into finally getting there, and it's just like, oh no, this is just the beginning of the game. The boss fight before that, right before getting to that, was insane. I was sweating my balls off. Sorry, mom. And you have to like the amount of space you have in between these stupid bullets is so small, so infinitesimally small that if you dodge at the wrong side, you're fucked. You're sent back like 20 hours. Not 20 hours. That sounds ridiculous. You're sent back a fair amount of time. Like these Saros is probably not going to be something like that. I'm imagining Saros is going to be as fucked up, if not more fucked up than Returnal, which was, people complained about how difficult it was. The other thing about Returnal people complained about was that there was no like save button in the middle of a run. You just couldn't end a run. If you wanted to end a run, they had to patch that in. They had to patch like a one-time save thing per run. And it's not like you can go back to it. It's like when you exited the game, it made an exit save, and then when you came back in, it was deleted. Like, So hopefully they learned their lesson with that here too. Hopefully that's like a function in the game without a patch. You could just have an exit save. This is gonna be fucked up. I want to play this at some point. I promise you, I do. I really do. It's just yeah. I don't know. Returnal is fucked, like in a good way, in like the best way possible. To the point where like I want to go back and play it, but that'd be like learning how to ride a bike all over again, and I just don't have it in me.
So, to build off of what everybody's saying, per Wikipedia, Returnal split into two halves, and each half consists three biomes. And if you died during a run, you got sent to the beginning of that half.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And there was no proper save function in Returnal until the 2.0 update, and that wasn't even an actual save. It was a suspended cycle, which the game saved your location, assuming that you weren't in combat or like any story thing. It'll save your progress even if you quit the game, but it's limited. You can't have more than one save files, and it's erased the moment you start the game back up. It's basically like a pause button.
Yes.
So like something like that is the only thing that stops me from playing a game, and I'm curious. I'm really curious to know if they'll bring that back or not, because when Returnal came out, that was the big selling point. Like that was the big we like there's no saving. Like you die, you're going back to the beginning, and that it is what it is. And I'm I kind of hope that they give you that option in this one, because I feel like that's what really made the first game like it. So I'm curious to see if they'll bring that over into this one as well.
I politely disagree. I would never not want personally, I would never not want to have an exit save. Like, for example, you're playing Returnal and your house catches on fire. I would like an exit save, please. I know it's an extreme example, but it's one of those things that, like, and I don't really necessarily. I mean, it'd be like you're not wrong. I think they designed it specifically like that, but like that's kind of fucked to be in the middle of a run. Like, as I feel like you kind of have to respect your players' time in life. Like, yes, it is cool that it's designed that way. It makes every run feel a bit more intense, but like that limits like so many. If you're a parent, you can't play this game ever. Like you just can't. Baby starts crying. Fuck my run. Fuck my 2.5 hour run. I guess. Like that's that sucks. Or like if your house catches on fire. Well, fuck my 3 hour run. I was really close to the second half. I think that it was a good move to include that suspended save. It shouldn't. And again, it's just a suspended save. It's literally just when you're exiting. I would like to pause the game. That's all. Option, no option, sure, but definitely leave the option in, please. For the love of God, do
Oh,
not patch that in.
I get what you're saying, and I definitely understand that. I'm just saying I they should have this suspended cycle that they had to patch in into the first game, which I mean is funny that it took a 2.0 update just to get. Um, but I feel like it should have that, but also like a version of like, do you want this or not? Because like, and I don't know if they can do that or not. Like I don't know if that's a thing that they can do across the board. Because take Resident Evil for example, the latest Resident Evil came out, and you could play it where you had unlimited saves, or you could play it the old school way where you had to find the VHS tapes and you were very limited. So I don't know if they could do something like that with this. Um, but I do think that the limited saving that you can do is sort of a backbone in this game and is what makes it like gives it like a unique twist. So that's something that I hope that they keep and that they don't disregard.
Yeah, reading the Saros website, they will have a second chance feature where you get revived instantly on the first time you die.
Like a Sekiro.
Yeah,
Interesting. I kind of like that.
Makes sense with their whole near instant loading speeds thing.
yeah,
It's just nice. It's just like it. I feel like that was Hades had a similar power up where it's just like you just get an extra life. It's like it's a lifesaver, especially in games where it's just so incredibly precise. Something like a Hades, which is also kind of like a bullet hell if you think about it. Not quite, but kind of.
kind of.
Um,
Yeah,
it's just so appreciated when you have that like just 1 second life. I'm not asking for a billion second lives. I'm not asking to like rack them up or whatever. 99 plus ones, but just like one extra life in a run can like make or break super frustration. Because I think that's like part of the story, right? Or like not part of the story, but part of the gameplay loop. Especially with Sekiro, it was always such a good feeling that when you died and you were like, no, no, I got this, give me one more shot, and you have that one more shot, right? And like with Sekiro, and I'm assuming Saros too, is you want to be good enough to get to a point where you don't need that second chance, right? Like that's a good feeling in and of itself. That's like you feel like you've mastered something. But there's also something nice about dying, getting that one chance, and then finishing it. And you're just like, yes. There's nothing better than that. On the flip side, it is hilariously bad getting your ass slapped twice in a row, though. Equally as funny.
uh,
So, before I was rudely interrupted with a subscribe to our thing, um, they're doing a permanent progression system where every death reshapes the world while offering new upgrades to overcome challenges. And it says persistent resources and progression systems that allow the player to permanently upgrade the loadout with new weapons and suit enhancements for subsequent playthroughs after each character's death. Interesting. I feel like they took Returnal and like I don't know how to describe it. Like
it's just more chaotic than Returnal, and they're kind of
yes.
they're playing into that by letting you keep your loadout and everything. Um,
I'm still waiting for that twist though. Like there has to be something that gives it that like okay, your spiritual successor to Returnal, like what is your niche this time?
mhm.
But it looks real good, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I always feel the PS5 could use more exclusives. So
Sure. And I,
this is
I
good.
I really like that this is coming out on the PS5 because they're touting like the haptic feedbacks of the PS5 controller and like the sounds and things like that. And I feel like those factors we sort of like take for granted. And when you include them in a video game of this nature, I feel like they really just enhance and pull you into the video game even more. So I like those small things when studios think of those. Just things you don't consider. But anyway, that is it for this episode, March and April of the pre-review crew. Kick it over to the guys for any short final thoughts.
Final Fantasy VI is great. Final Fantasy IV is also really good. Final Fantasy VII is still really good. Final Fantasy IX is gonna be great. Dragon Quest V is probably also gonna be pretty great. I've heard great things about Dragon Quest V. You'll hear about my little retro review. That's what I should do. Should do little Brennan's little retro review.
I like
That's
that.
great. Yeah. Okay. Really quick. Final Fantasy VI, 5 out of 5. One of the best RPGs ever created. Sorry. That's just like the score, amazing. The characters, amazing. The fucking combat, amazing.
I think it's the best Final Fantasy.
Okay, easily. Okay, so for me, it's at least the best 2D Final Fantasy by far. Okay. I have a soft spot for 7. It's really difficult for me to pair up 6 and 7. I imagine that's not a novel take, but I don't know which. I think I could talk about that all fucking day. I actually wrote down a whole bunch of notes comparing the two, but that's besides the point. Um, they're very similar games, like in terms of like theming. You know, it's both like both games have a focus on love and loss, like life and love paired with loss. You know. Um, anyway, Final Fantasy 6 best 2D Final Fantasy by far. Like 4 was really good though. 4 gripped my attention. You know, Cecil, Heckle, Kegelmeister was real good. Pain in my ass. He was really cool. But like, I don't really like Dragoons. I think Dragoons are kind of stupid. That's just me though. I think they'd be more effective if they didn't take 8 billion years to fucking do something. Also, it's just fly. It's literally just fly in Pokemon. I hate that. Whatever. 6 is the best, and I'm replaying through 7 now. And yeah, obviously 7's great. 7 gets a 7 out of 7. And then after that is 9. Hopefully, I'll play through 9, and then hopefully this time next month I'll have played through Final Fantasy 9. Then we can talk about that.
What about 16?
Fuck that. Are you kidding me? Did you not just hear about my whole rant about how I'm not really playing modern games anymore in favor of old classics that have like are timeless and have had a profound impact on our society and culture at large? Do you think that nobody knows what fucking Sephiroth is? Like, come on.
I'm gonna play
Mike,
16 in 15 years.
Mike, save me, save me, help, 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 help.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, I'm gonna play 16 in 15 years.
Yeah, really. Yeah, no. Even then, I'm not going to touch 16. I'm not going to touch 16 with a 10-foot pole. 15 sucked my ass, dude. 15 was awful.
No,
it was such a
16 was
waste
good.
of time.
15 was awful, but 16 was good.
Okay, all right. Nothing against 16. I'm sure that 16 is probably fine, but yeah. I really just I'm so spurned by 15 that I was like, hey, no, I'm good, thank you.
Anyway, you heard it here for the pre-review crew. Come back next month for more of Brennan's mini rants, and we will see how Saros and all the other games did as well. I hope you have a great morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world, and we will catch you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.
I love you. And Final Fantasy 7.
Oh my god.
It's real good.